Hey everyone, welcome to our solutions video for selective prep maths, test number 39. Let's get straight into the overview. So percentages is something we've looked at a lot. Basically, the whole point of the percentages slide is to explain to you, do not calculate everything separately. Don't calculate every percentage separately. For example, if you get a 40% discount, don't calculate the discount, calculate the final. Okay, that's the most important thing about this slide. Calculate the final percentage only and calculate what that value is. Don't calculate the value of the percentages in between. For example, if you get a 40% discount, don't calculate the discount. Okay, calculate what you need to pay after the discount, because that's what the question is asking for. So two P's, what I mean by two P's is either find a pattern, P1, or a pair. So when giving, and this is when we have a sequence of numbers or a pattern of numbers, and we want to try and find what that pattern is. If there's no obvious pattern, and you're required to add things up, so it's an addition sequence like so, okay, try and make pairs that are easier to add up. And we'll take a look at that soon. So here we have an example of a very common pattern, Fibonacci pattern. Basically, you just add the first two numbers up to get to the next one. Okay, 3 plus 5 equals 8. And so the blank, okay, would be 13 plus 21, which is 34. Okay, now, example 2, we have a more common pattern here. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13 might just seem like a bunch of odd numbers, but we can actually make a pattern out of it. It's not just that. That's not the pattern. So we have each term. We have term 1, term 2, term 3 in the pattern. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call this n. N equals 1 is the first term. N equals 2 is the second term. N equals 3 is the third term, etc., etc. And then x is the value of each term. So n equals 1 equals 3. So x equals 3 when n equals 1. N equals 2, x equals 5. N equals 3, x equals 7. Okay, so these are just the terms that you see here. So the relationship you see between n and x is x equals 2n plus 1. So for term 1, it's 2 times 1 plus 1, so it's 3. Okay, for n equals 2, it's 2 times 2 plus 1, so 5. For n equals 3, it's 2 times 3 plus 1, so 7, etc., etc. So when we're finding the 20th term, this is going to save us a lot of time, because we don't need to find the 19 terms before it. So 2 times 20 plus 1 equals 41, and that's your 20th term there. What is the sum of the sequence? So the third example, basically there's two ways to go about this. You can try and find a pattern. The pattern here is a little bit obscure. It's a bit hard to find, but if you had added up, so term 1 and term 3, so you would have gone, if you just added up term 1 by itself, it would have been 1. Add the first two terms, it's 4. Add the first three terms, it's 9. At the first 4 terms, it's 16. So you can see they're all square numbers. So the pattern is the addition of the first n terms is going to give you n squared. So addition of first 2 terms is going to give you 2 squared. Addition of the first 3 terms is going to give you 3 squared. Because there's 25 terms here. 1 to 49 is 25. Just like 2 to 50 is 25. Okay. N squared will be 25 squared. So it's going to be 625. Another way you could have gone about it is to make pairs. Okay, so before 49, you would have 47, 45. So what we want to do is, we have 25 terms here. We can only make pairs with an even number of terms. So what we're going to do is we're going to forget about this 1 for now. So now we have 24 terms. We're going to add the 1 later on. So we can do 3 and 49, 5 and 47, 7 and 49. What this does, what making pairs does with each extreme, is that you add the biggest and smallest number, the second biggest, second smallest number, and what it does is it gives you the same number over and over again. So 49 plus 3 is 52, 5 plus 47 is 52, 45 plus 7 is 52, and then we just get 12 pairs of that. Okay, and when you do the multiplication, it gives you 624. Add the final 1, gives you 625. So if you couldn't find the pattern, okay, then that's another way to go about it. Now let's get straight into some questions, because we spent a bit of time on that overview. So the sign that should replace the blank is times. Remember, always do the brackets first. Remember, BODMAS, brackets are first, so this should have given you -6, and then whatever with 12. So times 12 should have given you -72 plus 88 equals 16. So that's correct. So we have a piece of paper here. When we cut out shapes, I believe there should be another triangle, something like that. And let's find the area of the paper first. So A of paper is 30 times 21, which equals 630. Okay, the minus area of the rectangle, which is 4 times 2, or 8. Area of the circle is going to be 2 squared times 3.14, which is 12.56, plus this little triangle here, which is 4 times 5 times half, so 10, and plus this big triangle here, so 6 times 6 times half, which is 18. And then if you subtract these 4 terms from 630, you should have gotten 581.44. Now, question 3, we have a very expensive set of mangoes. So 1 kilogram equals $1,000. Imagine having $1,000 in 2209, which is a very long time from now. The price increases by 15%. So this is 2208, 2209. 1 kilogram equals 150 if you do the math. So 15% of 100 is 150. Add that on, you get 1,150. Now, in 2210, 1 kilogram decreases by 15%. So now it's only 85% of what it used to be. So remember, don't calculate the discount first and then subtract it. Calculate what the final percentage is. That's 85%. So what's 1150 times 85? So 0. So 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 5 is 5, 5 times 1, so 7, 5, 8 times 0 is 0, 8 times 5 is 40, 12, 9. So it should give you 5, 7, 7, 9. So you should get $977.50. Okay, because remember, it's not 85, it's 0.85. So you should have carried it over too. Now, so the answer is C. 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2. So if x cubed is 15,625, okay, what is the value of x to the power of 4? So if you found x would have been 25. So 25 times 25 times 25 is 15,625. We know it's going to be something ending with 5 because this ends with 5. Okay, so if you tried 5, it wouldn't have worked. If you tried 15, it wouldn't have worked. So 25 would have been your correct answer. So 25 times 25 times 25 is 15625. And then if we multiply it by 25 one more time, that gives you x to the power of 4. I'm not going to do the multiplication. I think you guys could have done that yourselves. So that would have just given you D. The nets below that could make a three-dimensional shape are C and D. Okay, this would have made a cylinder. This would have made a pyramid. So E is incorrect because 1 is a pentagon and 1 is a hexagon. So that wouldn't add up because there's only 5 squares here. This would not fit. This doesn't work because you need the circles on both sides for a cylinder to make sense. This one was a bit more confusing, but if you were to fold this up this way, this up this way, and then fold this out to the side to try and make like a little, sorry, this is a bad diagram. Something like that, okay? This last side here would stick out way too much, okay? If it had been a square, it would have worked, okay? If it was a square, it would have worked, but because it's a rectangle, it sticks out too much. Same way, if we fold this up, it would have stuck up way too much, okay? So it doesn't really work out. So it's just C and D because it's out of proportion. Now, question 6, again, it's not a overly complicated pattern. There's no real like set pattern to this. All you really need to focus is that for term 1, 2, 3, okay, it's 1 and then the next number, and then 1 plus 2 and then the next number, and then 1 plus 2 plus 3 and then the next number as well. So for 12, it would have been 1 plus 2 plus 3, plus 4 plus dot 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 plus 10 plus 11 plus 12 plus 13. Plus 13, I'll write that here. So if we want to make pairs, there's 13 terms here. Let's make pairs without the 13 first. So we would go 1 plus 12, 2 plus 11, 3 plus 10. So those are all pairs of 13. We have 12 terms, so 6 terms, 6 pairs of 13, plus the final 13 that we left out here. So that would have given you 7 times 13, which is 7 times 10, 70, plus 7 times 3, 21, equals 91. So C. Here we just don't have enough information to calculate the area. We have one side, and that's not enough to calculate area. We have an angle as well. You'll learn very, very far into your high school life how to use that. But for now, we don't have enough information. So E, we don't have enough. We can't calculate the area. Kyle deposits $8,000 on Monday, finds himself with $9,000 a year later. So he's gotten $1,000 more. Basically, what you could have done is you could have found what 9,000 was as a percentage or a fraction of what 8,000 is, and basically you would have gotten 1.125. Okay, if you had done 9 divided by 8, or you could have also done he earned $1,000. And what is 1,000 as a percentage of 8,000? So 1/8 is 12.5%. Okay, so this is 112.5%. Sorry. Oops. My goodness, what's going on with this app? 112.5%. So he's earned 12.5%. And in this case, if you want to calculate it separately, you would have gotten 12.5% anyways. So, Billy bought a 64-inch TV for 4.4 grand. He paid a deposit of 800, so he's already paid 800 off, which means he's only got 3,600 left to pay, and he makes monthly repayments of $200. So how many months does it take? That's just simple math, 18 months. So 18 times 200 equals 3,600. So this was a little bit confusing, this question. Basically, you have an equation below. You have a clover and a heart. So basically, clover heart is just one number. It's not two separate numbers. It's like 16 or something like that. It's not 1 plus 6. It's like 16. So something, a 2-digit number squared times a 2-digit number squared equals 600 and something. But here we have the same terms as above. So for square numbers, okay, if we have 20 times 20, it gives us 400. 30 times 30 equals 900. So it's between 20 and 30. This number is between 20 and 30. It's 20 something. We know that 25 times 25 equals 625. We've looked at it a couple of times now. 26 times 26 works as well. Okay, 24 times 24. I'm not sure if that works. But basically, if you had given it trial and error, if you try and multiply these terms together, heart times heart equals heart. The only time when heart times heart equals heart is 1, 5, or 6. Okay, so 1 times 1 equals 1. 5 times 5 equals something 5, right? So it's the heart again. And then 6 times 6 equals something 6. So that works as well. Now, 4 times 4 would have given you like something 6 as well. So those terms don't work. So it's either 25 times 25 or 26 times 26. But the clover needs to be the same as well. And so 25 is on the back end here. So 625 is 25 times 25. So this is the correct answer. So we're trying to find what heart times clover is. And so 2 times 5 equals 10. Okay, 26 times 26 would have given you something a bit different. So 6 times 6 is 36. So that works, okay. But the other term does not. This is not 4. It should have been 2, okay, because the clover needs to carry on down as well, but it doesn't work. So the only term that works is 25 times 25. So we know heart is 5. And then, sorry, this is going to be a really bad drawing. But clover is 2. So if we carry on again, heart is 5, clover is 2. And so we have 625 divided by 5 times 2 divided by, and then this is just 5 times 2, so 10 divided by 10, code BODMAS, brackets are first, divided by 5. Now, you have to do this left to right, okay? If you have a bunch of these, you can't do them in a separate order. You have to do it left to right, otherwise it changes the value. So 625 divided by 5 is 125 times 2 equals 250 divided by 10 equals 25 divided by 5 equals 5. So you should have gotten B, which was 5. So good job, guys. These questions are actually a bit difficult, but the key takeaways from this test were just sequences, find a pattern or a pair to save time. You don't want to waste a bunch of time not knowing what to do or trying to find every single value and add them up. Okay, don't waste time doing that. Secondly, percentages, just find the final value. Don't waste time finding individual values. Okay. All right, good job, guys, for keeping up with the solutions video. I will see you in the next one.